Ian Brahmstedt, welcome to our show, Business Profiles. It's a pleasure meeting you. For our viewers, you are a chef, and also you're getting into the filmmaking business. We'll talk a little bit about that. But you're not from New York City. You reside here now. You grew up in, of all places, Vermont, and your parents had a restaurant, and you basically, those were your roots growing up. Your dad was the chef, and your mother was the general manager. Tell us about growing up in that environment, and is that where you developed your love for cooking?
Absolutely. So, grew up in Vermont, little small mountain town, you know, my parents owned the restaurant, little young boy, you know, stealing the chocolate mousse out of the fridge, that sort of thing. So, yeah, from there, it really started. I mean, you know, it's the family business, is what it is.
From there, where did you study culinary arts?
So, you know, I grew up in the, I mean, I would have to say I probably learned the most from my father, just being in the restaurant, all that. But as soon as I got out of high school, you know, the choice to go to college was pretty simple. My mom worked at the New England Culinary Institute in Montpelier, Vermont, you know, discount on the school, so, you know, it's kind of the obvious decision.
You must have had a big advantage over the other students going in because you had that great foundation.
I kind of felt that way, but, you know, I mean, you know, the ability to go to a culinary school and come from a culinary school is, you know, is something that, you know, really stands well in the industry. You know, if you're to go to a job, any job, coming from a culinary school, you're going to get a much better position. Yeah.
Next question that I would have is, if you don't go to culinary school, can you make it in the business?
Absolutely. You definitely don't need to go to culinary school. You need to know how to cook. You need to know how to work in the industry. You need to know how to, you know, work under pressure, deal with the craziness of a busy New York City restaurant industry. But, you know, I think for me, coming directly from culinary school, it probably helped me get good jobs right out of school. And I think that being able to, you know, take a great job right out of school, I think was what really helped my career, you know, move from an early age.
Right. And if you don't go to culinary school, are you looking for an internship? I mean, what is it that the young person who's inspired about the business, what does he do?
I think just try and go get a job, any job at a great restaurant. You know, because the idea is, you know, you start from the bottom, you become a commis, you learn how to peel carrots, you learn how to turn vegetables, you know, and, you know, that's how some of the best chefs, you know.
That's how they get started.
Yeah, the chef at the French Laundry started making salads, worked there for 6 years, and, you know, he's the chef now.
Wow. Okay, at 23 years old, you came to the Big Apple.
I did.
You opened up a restaurant in the East Village?
Yeah, we did. Lower East Side. When I was 23 years old, moved to New York City from San Francisco. I was out there doing some work with Traci De Jardin, and I got an offer to open the restaurant with my partner Keeter Chan. We started renovating the business, and slowly, and we took about a year and a half, created a whole new restaurant in a space in the Lower East Side on Essex Street, and small restaurant, 46 seats, modern sort of Cal-French food. Did really well for the first year. About a year in, we noticed that our bar business was doing really, really well. So we kind of couldn't, we just couldn't ignore it, you know. So the focus of the restaurant eventually evolved into a, you know, bar lounge sort of club, and we were doing really well. But, you know, I'm a chef. I want to be a chef.
And of course, you left that because you wanted to follow your passion and your dream.
I did. Immediately, I wanted, you know, we're in New York City. You know, I'm trying to be a chef in my life, and, you know, there's great chefs here. You know, and I was working at a really great, you know, bar restaurant, you know.
You don't need to have your talents as a chef to run a bar. Exactly.
You know, and it was very lucrative, but, you know, it wasn't exactly where my passion lied. So I immediately went to go work at Bar Blanc with Cesar Ramirez. And
explain to us these, you mentioned these names, but these are famous people in the culinary business in New York City, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, since leaving Le Lupanar, since moving on from that project, you know, I've worked with Tom Colicchio, worked with Marco Canora. Last year, Franklin Becker brought me on to Iron Chef America. You know, I've definitely been getting into the New York City chef life for the last few years.
Yeah, before we talk about the Iron Chef, because I do want to talk a little bit about your experience on that show. The passion that you have for cooking obviously runs deep. Give us an average day. How many hours a day you spend in the kitchen?
It's about just a little over 16 hours a day.
16 hours a day. So you work And you sleep and you work and you sleep. Not much left to do anything else.
Yeah, and take vacations in Europe. You know?
Well, run us through what you do. You go in. What's the first thing you do?
Well, first thing,
you're the chef.
Yeah, so
you're in charge.
Yeah, so first thing, it's just start going, doing laps around the restaurant, and unfortunately, work just comes. Problems with this. The pasta boiler won't turn on. There's a problem, and unfortunately, the fish that we need for tonight isn't coming. So. Do
you find the stress overwhelming in the business?
I do, but I mean, I feel like, with running a New York City restaurant, I mean, you can't really do it without a little excitement,
Yeah. What's the best part of what you do?
Being a chef, it's sort of a wonderful career in the sense that, you're with people that you want to be with. You're doing something that you're passionate about. You're giving people something that, makes them happy.
Giving them joy.
Yeah, exactly. So though it's stressful, it can be extremely rewarding.
Right. Now, yeah, I agree with you, and it certainly shows in your work. Explain to us very quickly what kind of cooking you specialize in.
Recently, in the last few years, working with Marco Canora, working with Tom Colicchio, now I'm working at a Voce. Italian, it's doing well. Michael White has been doing really well. Mario Batali has been doing really well. Modern Italian cuisine is kind of the new French food.
Really?
It's really becoming quite popular with Giada, and across the board, Italian cuisine is kind of dominating the market.
Okay, and you also mention frequently about cooking healthy food and fresh vegetables from the local farmers.
Yeah.
Explain to us what that's all about.
Well, I mean, for me as a chef, if I'm looking at a piece of asparagus, it comes out of the ground, it's full of sugar. As soon as it comes out of the ground,
it's full of sugar.
Yeah, exactly. It needs the sugar for the photosynthesis to happen. It's part of the process of growing. And once you cut that asparagus stem, from the moment you cut it, all the sugars become starches. So if I'm going to go ahead and call up the produce company or order a case of asparagus, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. But it's also going to come from Argentina. It's going to have been on a truck for the last 2 weeks. It's going to be pretty starchy.
Any nutrition left in that asparagus by the time it gets here from Argentina?
Absolutely, absolutely.
There is. Okay.
But as it ages, it diminishes. So for us, we want to get the freshest stuff available. So what we want to do is shop regionally, shop locally. We like to work directly with farmers, to get us the asparagus that was just picked this morning.
Yeah.
We like to have a relationship with our farmer, Rick Bishop, so that when we go there to his farmer stand, he's got the stuff that he just picked set aside for us in the back of the truck.
And
it's the best.
And it's a partnership.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to talk about Iron Chef America.
Yeah.
Because I know you were on that show, and tell us about who you competed against and what that experience was.
Well,
must have been exciting.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun. We had been knowing about it for months and stuff like that. I was a little anxious, a little nervous, kind of excited. And the whole process was so smooth and easy.
Really?
It was so fun. The chairman, Alton Brown, all those guys were so nice. It was nothing but a pleasure. It wasn't stress. It wasn't that crazy. It wasn't that crazy, stressful, terrifying time. It was a really great experience. We did battle haddock. Chef Franklin Becker brought me on. We battled Iron Chef Jose Garces.
And how'd you do?
I won.
Don't be shy,
no,
Ian. That's an honor.
Jose Garces was the winner of that battle.
Okay. You hope to go back?
Yeah, absolutely.
On the show?
Next opportunity.
Speaking of which, you're also doing a series, cooking series on PBS, and the name of the series is going to be Regal Fare. Who came up with that title, and also tell us about what the show is about?
I created the title a few months ago. Like the idea of elegant, simple cuisine. Regal came to mind. That was one of our buzzwords when we were talking about the show. I was thinking Regal meals, just evolved into Regal Fare. Regal Fare is a TV show that is going to highlight all the things that we love in the restaurants, the farm fresh ingredients, the classic, the modern techniques, a lot of the stuff that people can make at home that they probably wouldn't, like things that are maybe a little more involved that they think they can do, but that we do every day. you know, that it really is simple, really is easy, you know, and it's something that you can do at home. We're trying to...
How would you describe Regal Fare, how it's going to differ from other cooking shows that we can see across the dial currently?
Well, what we're seeing a lot now is a lot of home cooks, you know, and, you know, that's what people want to do. That's why they watch cooking shows. They want to cook at home, you know.
And cook fast.
Yeah, and cook a simple, easy meal. Simple, easy meal.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So the idea is that we can do the same thing, but we're going to take a Michelin-starred chef from New York City, and we're going to bring a lot of things like basil oil and squidding pasta and, you know, a lot of fun, exciting techniques that we use in the restaurant every day.
That people aren't aware of.
Yeah, that they probably don't know how easy it is to make.
Yeah, yeah. And what do these ingredients do for a meal that they're not aware of?
Well, I think the thing is, people probably are a little daunted by, you know, buying a jar of squid ink and bringing it home and trying to make something with it. But it's really something that you can buy at the store, you know, and bring home and turn into an amazing and elegant meal. You know, it's like, you know, it's a cooking show and a cooking education.
Yeah, are you going to be doing segments on seasonal
Absolutely.
foods?
Absolutely.
Explain that.
So seasonality in the restaurant is kind of everything, because like we were talking about earlier, well, it's kind of what we were talking about earlier is we're always trying to get the best foods available.
What's available fresh.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So, you know, in the springtime we go crazy, get asparagus and peas and all that stuff that's fresh from the...
In the summertime you have your watermelon and your cantaloupe and all of those
tomatoes,
delicious.
Corn, zucchinis,
so you incorporate those into what you do. And the show is going to be a PBS series?
Yeah, we will be on PBS nationally this fall.
Well, congratulations. Yeah. That's going to be seen by millions.
Yeah, millions.
And you will be a household name.
Yeah, within just a short time.
Explain to us the restaurant that you're working in currently and how that's going and what your duties are there.
So right now I'm at a Voce. We recently had a fire at a Voce Columbus. We're closed now. I'm at a Voce Madison while we're doing the renovations.
And what kind of restaurant is it?
We are a Michelin-starred Italian restaurant. It's owned by the Marlon Abella Corporation. Marlon Abella owns several restaurants, both here in New York, Boston, and mostly in London. Mostly his restaurants are in London.
And Italian is the new French.
Yeah, it's popular cuisine across the board.
I did want to ask you, with your show, the name of the show is called Regal Fare, and it's going to be all over in PBS soon. But what inspired you to develop your own cooking show with so much competition out there?
Well, growing up, I feel like I also owe a lot of my education to Mario Batali. Watching, growing up watching Molto Mario or watching, Good Eats with Alton Brown, and just over the years, I just kind of loved, those shows among a handful of others, so much that it's become a huge passion of mine that I never even really realized until semi-recently. And this year we got the opportunity to do the show. We created a pilot, and
Who are some of your favorite chefs, not necessarily on television, that are just out there today?
People we look to now. A lot of our favorites are Rene Redzepi in Copenhagen. He's doing some really excellent things. He's really exploring the fresh farm idea. He's really farm. He's really going direct from the farmer. He's really doing some really amazing things in Copenhagen. Pierre Gagnier in Paris.
Yes.
He's always been an inspiration for all of us in the restaurant industry for years.
You've been to Daniel?
Yeah. Daniel, yeah.
He's a brand.
Yeah, absolutely. Daniel is one of the most, I think, in New York City, the most impressive chef.
Do you think so?
I do, absolutely. His namesake restaurant is a 3 Michelin star restaurant, and from there on, he just has an amazing empire of culinary.
And what a passion.
Yeah.
And he's got some great books out as well.
And he certainly does. He certainly does.
So what do you tell a young cook looking to get into the industry? And other than just get a job any place you can.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, don't
be overwhelmed.
Yeah, you know what? It's like, I think that you need to understand that, it's a lot of work. It's grueling conditions, stressful, crazy chef yelling at you all the time. It's a little daunting, to young people.
Don't be intimidated.
Yeah. And
good lesson.
I think that the more that you pour into it, the more that you come to love it, and the more that you're passionate about it, and the more that you're going to want to be there, the more that you're going to want to work. The more that you're going to want to work there. The more of your life you're going to want to pour into this industry.
Right, to acquire more fans of the show.
Yeah.
How can they learn more about it? How can they find out more about it?
Right.
And how can people find out more about you?
Well, right now we have regalfare.com. That's available. You know, that's a show created for our website created for the show.
And if somebody wants to drop into your restaurant currently, the one that you're working at, to sample your food,
either of the Evoce restaurants, I'm more than happy to accommodate.
and ask for Chef Ian.
Chef Ian.
And you'll come out and say hello, and
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
that's it.
Absolutely.
After years from now, when you reflect back, because right now you seem to be, everything is on full throttle in your life,
yeah.
the book, the restaurant, the TV show. But when you reflect back many years from now, what do you hope that your legacy will be?
Well, the idea that I love is that, you know, in the same way that I took so much from watching Alton Brown or Molto Mario or any of those great cooking shows, you know, any of those great cooking shows, you know, I like to think that, you know, I can take all the things that I've learned, you know, and hopefully impart those to, you know, the next generation. And, you know, that's kind of the idea with all cooking, you know, it's like you pass down the gnocchi recipe from your grandmother and, you know, it's like that tradition, you know, it's kind of that like family tradition that we want to continue to pass on.
Well said. I just want to say, Ian Brahmstedt, pleasure meeting you today. Best of luck with all you're doing, because I know you're doing a lot of good stuff, and we look forward to watching Regal Fare on PBS in the fall. Best of luck with it and all that you do.
Thank you so much, Mickey. It was a pleasure to be here today.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.